All right, guys, it's not looking too good for Drake.
The longest losing streak in hip-hop history continues. Drake's lawsuit against UMG has been thrown out of court. The judge wrote, "The average listener is not under the impression that a diss track is the product of a thoughtful or disinterested investigation conveying to the public fact-checked, verifiable content. It has to be seen as part of the entire diss track war where both men were going back and forth saying hyperbolic shit about the other." She said because it's part of a diss track war, reasonable listeners will not interpret this song as some verifiable fact. This is the worst possible outcome for Drake. His suit was so poorly conceived, as soon as the judge looked at it, she dismissed it. Looks like a first-round TKO. I have always felt like this suit was a wealthy man's temper tantrum and not a real legal conversation. If Drake had withdrawn the suit, it would have looked like he'd had a change of heart. He had thought better of this horrible decision. But no, his lawyers let him march into court, march into the public square with this doggy doo-doo piece of shit lawsuit, acting like this was a real legal question. This is embarrassing for him. I don't understand why his lawyers could not have seen this coming and advised him to withdraw the suit, to save face. Make no mistake, the lawsuit, including this ignominious ending to it, is far worse for this boy's image than that battle, than Not Like Us. The lawsuit is worse than Not Like Us.
You know what it is? Drake is still my GOAT. Regardless of whatever anyone tells me or whatever anyone says, Drake is still the GOAT. He's the greatest of all time. He's given us so many times and experiences over the last 12 years that no other artist has given us consistently. Yes, yeah. We have to call a spade a spade. But at the same time, putting a lawsuit for a diss record was still one of the dumbest decisions that I've ever seen Drake make. And as a Drake fan, yeah, man, he lost me there. Do you know what I mean? Lost me entirely because it makes no sense as to how you can go and actually sue, obviously, your label, because he was trying to sue UMG, the label, for defamation of character and actually pushing the entire narrative of, okay, cool, this is going to slander and tarnish my name, my reputation. People think that I'm a PDF file and stuff like that. But let's be real, we all understand that is a diss record. It's the same way that a couple years ago, did he not create a diss record that almost ended Meek Mill forever? Let's be real.
How did you feel in that moment of Meek sort of putting that out there? And he was in a bad mental spot. If I remember correctly, conversations were happening amongst him and his lady, and him just kind of getting this idea, maybe I don't fuck with him. And, I think he just took a hard left and felt like he had enough ammunition to maybe put a major dent in my armor or decapitate me. In that moment, I was like, all right, well, if we're talking about music, let me just show you better than I can tweet you. Charged Up was a thing that I was just seeing if it was real. Because, you never know how calculated someone's plan is. Maybe they've been sitting on the record for 6 months. They hated you all this time. I made the decision that I was going to go again. And I remember I was with Serena at the time. And she was like, well, look, if you're going to go again, you got to finish it. And, she's a top competitor. So she was like, it's got to be something that everyone that he's with and him have to hear. He can't do some shit that's just for the moment and then it goes away.
Yeah.
She kind of put this battery in my back. Funny enough, that was just when we heard that. I just went into demon mode. But how did you feel in that moment of me?
Look at the way he's smirking. Look at him over there. Look at him. Can you see? So a couple years later, when someone now does it to you, you're now on the vibe like, that's defamation of character, doesn't stand, that's not fair, blah, blah, blah. When, bro, is the name of the game within hip hop. Like, this has been probably the biggest thing in hip hop for a very, very long period of time. Like, a lot of people have been fatigued from the lack of great music coming out, besides someone like Gunna. Gunna's been killing it, But people have been really fatigued by the lack of great music coming out from artists and the change of things. We're all kind of bored of the music at the current moment. So when we saw the Drake versus Kendrick beef, at first, obviously, we saw how people like J. Cole, he got out of it. You saw a lot of rappers just get out of it and get out of the way. Then it became, okay, Drake versus Kendrick. What's Drake gonna say? What's Kendrick gonna say? Then Kendrick drops the banger, bro. He drops a banger and bro, I can't lie. Drake's back-to-back for Meek Mill was the greatest diss record ever. Like, top free in my opinion, yeah? But now what Kendrick has done, they're not like us. So we got multiple articles. This one is actually from The Guardian and actually talks about Drake's defamation lawsuit against UMG got dismissed. Now, when we actually read through it, Drake actually claimed that UMG helped to damage his reputation because I'm gonna be real, the diss did kind of damage Drake's, credibility within the space, but he is still the GOAT, so I'm biased when it comes to that regardless, right? So the federal judge has thrown out Drake's defamation lawsuit against UMG, ruling that the company cannot be held responsible for promoting. That's crazy. That's so crazy. Now, apparently, this judge, her name is Jeanette Vargas. Let's actually see who that is. Oh, shout out to Jeanette. So she must be a Kendrick fan from what we can actually see. But anyway, she decided on Thursday that the song's lyrics express non-actionable opinion and therefore cannot be considered defamatory. The issue in this case is whether Not Like Us can reasonably be understood to convey as a factual matter that Drake is a PDF file. I have to be very, very careful what I say because YouTube limits, the views and stuff like that when we say certain things. Or that he has engaged in relations with minors. Crazy. The judge states, in light of the overall context in which statements in the recording were made, the court holds that it cannot. So ultimately, when you actually look at the entire article, it's basically saying that unfortunately Drake, it's not really standing. It's not really standing there at all.
Drake fans want to act like Drake is the first person to be offended, but trust me, disrespect has a long history in hip hop.
So my people, unfortunately, Drake lost the battle, right? In saying this, and not only once, actually twice, which is a bit of a shame. But in saying this, like I always said, and I said at the beginning of the video, Drake is my GOAT. He's given me amazing, amazing, amazing summers, amazing albums, amazing periods and moments in life, just in general. But we have to call a spade a spade. He lost in this one completely, right? In saying this though, if you guys enjoy content like this and we actually update you in terms of the latest news going on in hip hop, and just going on in entertainment just in general, then make sure to actually like this video, comment down below anything that you guys want me to actually respond to, whether you actually think that Drake lost or actually won, or whether he was right, whether he was wrong, let me know down in the comments. And if I enjoyed this video as well, make sure to subscribe because we are going to make sure to upload every single day, current affairs, update you guys and actually keep it entertaining at the same time. So I'll see you guys in tomorrow's video. Peace.